Good afternoon. Welcome to the Parenting Versus podcast. It's Easter.
Yeah.
Lindsey's beading. Is that what it's called? Beading? Lindsey?
Yes, I said yeah.
Called beading. Mm-hmm. We've been in quarantine. Not quarantine. I think we clarified that last time, but we're in isolation. So Lindsey's been doing things with her hands, staying busy. We painted rocks, amazing rocks she did with the kids. And today we went on a rock walk and put these little pieces of joy across the street in different parts of our neighborhood so that when people go for walks, because it seems like more people are walking now, they'll see these little paintings, these little pieces of art, and, they'll get a little piece of joy. And I took some pictures, so I'll try to post those on our Instagram. But it's an interesting day. Mm-hmm. I had some ideas though for this podcast episode, and I'm just going to kind of roll with it and see what you think. Mm-hmm. So we've both been kind of trying to get to know ourselves. And one of those ways we've been trying to get to know ourselves is the enneagram. And it's kind of like a long journey, and it's honestly like the way I feel about the enneagram, and that it would be kind of this like thing that, oh, that's neat, and I kind of just move on. But for whatever reason, I've been kind of stuck on it. Obviously, like our podcast, we've kind of been mentioning it on and off, and I'm sorry if you're tired of hearing about it, but there is some sort of nugget of truth inside of these like personality profiles. And even if there isn't, I think the idea of like searching and seeking inside and trying to figure out who you are is a very important thing. So I thought it would be fun to I found this really cool test that was a better test. Mm-hmm. I thought it'd be fun to take the test together, because some of those questions I feel were like questions that maybe I'm not honest with myself about, maybe that you can give me some insight on, and like what you think.
Is this going to cause a divorce?
Is it going to cause a divorce? I don't know.
Catastrophically honest with each other?
I mean,
is it going to get ugly?
Sure, we can let it get ugly if you want.
I mean, I don't really want it to, but I don't know. It could. I could see the potential for that.
Cool. Let's see where it goes. Let's see if this is our last podcast episode ever. All right. So I took a recent test on a website that the usual one we take is the Enneagram Institute, right?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Well, I thought I would take the test again today because I felt a little bit different today. So I wondered, hey, if I'm feeling a little bit different, am I going to answer these questions differently? And I got the same thing. But what was cool about this test is it scored you in the other areas. Like
your wings?
No, not even wings, but it tells you what percentage you score in each Enneagram number.
Oh, okay.
And I'll tell you later what I scored, but...
Is that what you sent me, that text message?
Yes.
Okay. I wasn't sure. I didn't understand it when you sent it to me. I wasn't sure what you were trying to
it's just
show me, but I...
No, sometimes I just send stuff to you without any warning.
Well, there wasn't any context, so I knew... I was just looking at it, and I was trying to figure out
Sometimes I send you something because I know I'll forget later, and if it comes up, then we can talk about whatever it is I send you.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, that's what that was.
Okay.
So maybe since you're beading, I'll go first. Mm-hmm. Or maybe I can try to answer these for you and see how accurate I am.
Okay.
The first question is, and by the way, this test is from truity.com, truity.com/test/enneagram-personalities.
I'm already scared.
Why? Well, if it crashes and burns, then it just wasn't meant to be.
I mean, I've taken the Enneagram several times, throughout the years, mm-hmm. and I've always gotten the same thing. But let's see.
But I want to know what I feel, how accurate my idea, how well I know you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to take the personality test for you, and you can kind of tell me in real time if it's true or not.
Okay.
I strive for perfection. And the way that the test works is there are 5 choices. The choice to the very left is inaccurate. The choice to the very right is accurate, according to strength. I would say you're in the middle. I strive for perfection.
I would say I'm slightly more towards the end of not.
Okay, so not completely inaccurate, but like in the middle of between neutral and inaccurate.
Yeah, because I am not a detail person.
Yeah.
Like, unless I really care about what I'm doing, I'm not really a perfectionist at all.
Okay. I work hard to be helpful to others. I would say you're in the middle between accurate and neutral.
Yeah.
I say that because you like to give things to people. Like you're very thoughtful. If there's something immediate, like in front of your face, that you think, this person can use that, or this might bring some joy to that person, or whatever, you'll give that to them. Mm-hmm. That's why I said that.
Yeah, no, that's pretty accurate.
It is important to me that other people like me. I would say that is all the way to the right accurate.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't really care if people like me.
Really?
Really.
See, I maybe am fooled by that because in social situations you talk a lot. You kind of.
That doesn't mean I want people to like me. It just means I'm social.
Huh.
I don't care if they can take what I say or leave it. I don't care if they like me or not.
That is foreign to me because I observe you in social situations, and you want to be in social situations. So I assume that because you're in a social situation, you want people to like you.
No, I just enjoy socialization.
All right. So where are you in that? Like completely inaccurate or in between inaccurate and neutral?
I'd say in between inaccurate and neutral. There are some people where I get self-conscious around them. So I guess subconsciously I would want them to like me maybe, but I don't really care if people like me or not. It's more about if I like me. Like I want to like me.
Interesting. All right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Now that you say it, I'm still trying to wrap my head around it a little bit, but
Okay. Oh.
It is important to me to achieve great things. I would say you're accurate. That you do want to achieve great things.
I hate that question, or I hate that term, because what I consider a great thing for me might not be a great thing for someone else. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think it depends on what your definition of a great thing is. I would say as a 4, I want to achieve personal significance. I want to feel significant.
Right.
Doesn't have to be great. I don't want to be president.
That's where my mind is.
Being a celebrity or anything like that. I just want to feel like what I do has some purpose or significance.
Right.
And I'm not talking about in a fame sense. I'm talking about I want to make a positive impact on the world. I want what I do to matter. I don't want it to be pointless. I don't want to be just humdrum and then I die kind of a situation. Does that make sense?
It does. Hey, and there's your dad.
Oh, and my mom and my nephew.
All
We're
right.
going to have to take a break.
We're going to take a pause, and we'll be right back.
The sun fills the sky. It's dim next to your light, but it's always night without you.
All right, we're back.
Impromptu visits from the parents.
Yeah, well, it was nice to see them.
Yeah, they brought ham. I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
I like ham.
Yeah. All right, so where were we? So it is...
I should also mention that we socially distanced ourselves while receiving the ham.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, your parents came with full masks. And,
Full masks, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
The last question was, is it important for me to achieve... It is important for me to achieve great things, and I think there was some sort of See, that's one thing about these questions is you interpret it a certain way, and I think that's why it's hard to get an exact idea of what the test is. Achieve great things, you want to be a CEO of a startup or something, or some achievements for other people is different. You know what I mean? When I said that would be accurate for you, I thought of like a great deal of purpose.
I think for me, it's important to find something that is fulfilling,
So,
whatever that may be. I would love to like be able to podcast for a living and make money working on a podcast network.
and that would be considered achievement for you.
For me, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a CEO of a company, but like, again, that wouldn't be something that I would dream of doing, so.
Yeah. So, do you think it's okay for me to say that that's accurate?
I guess
at
so.
the highest level, or do you want it in between?
I think it's in between.
Yeah.
Only because I'm thinking of like general terms here, like how other people would define success.
Cool.
Or like whatever, I don't know.
I make more significant. Here's the next question. I make more significant contributions than the average person. So let me think about this.
That's a general question too.
well,
See,
let me interpret it and let me answer it, and let's talk about it. I make more significant contributions than the average person. So this question makes me think about like I'm better than most people. Like my contributions, like people are kind of bums, and I am pretty awesome, and like the things that I do mean something, and everybody else is just kind of sitting on their butt, like kind of lazy. And I would say that you think you're in the middle on that one. Neutral.
yeah. I mean, I've had people, like that's the thing that kind of is weird to me. I've had people literally thank me for doing my job when I was a case manager, and I'm like, it's not like I'm a martyr. Like, this is my job. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm doing it because I'm some like evolved human who is like a hyper good person. Like, it's my job to do this. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't know. That's a weird question. I don't know. It's a weird question to me.
Yeah, I thought it was
And
weird.
while it's a hard job, yes, like,
Well,
am I doing it because I'm super like, I'm like way more giving than the average person? No.
I think there are some people who feel that way though.
Maybe.
They're like, man, I that's why the question's there, because there is a type that describes that, and I'm not.
Like philanthropic, like
No, well, like maybe
accolades,
but
or
they're kind of, to me, like the idea I get of these type of people is that they're full of themselves.
oh, huh.
Like, I make more significant contributions than the average person.
Humble pie. I ate a lot of humble pie. Just kidding. I don't know.
You know, people who are not shy about proclaiming their accolades. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, man, like I am the best at this, and this, and everybody else just kind of sucks.
Everybody else just kind of sucks.
I think that there are a lot of people who feel like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
maybe. I'm not them. I have no idea.
Okay. I feel my emotions very deeply. That's
Yes.
accurate. Well, I was going to answer it.
Oh, sorry. I forgot it that you're supposed to be answering it.
I think that is definitely true. Yeah. So here's the next question. I have a sense that other people will never truly understand me. Yes, that's accurate. You even think that I don't understand you.
I don't feel like a lot of people understand me.
Even like the person who's with you 24/7 doesn't understand you.
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes I think, here we go in the weeds again. Sometimes I think you understand me, but you don't.
Yeah.
And I try, like, it also feels like no matter how hard I try to explain what I mean, you're never going to fully understand what I mean.
Right. I think deeply about things. I think you're in between the middle and accurate. It doesn't seem to me like you really think deeply about things, that you like your thoughts are just there and you react to them.
I do think deeply about things. I just don't always share it with people because I don't feel like they'd understand even if I did.
Okay. I am prepared for any disaster. It's completely inaccurate.
No, I don't.
Like you're not thinking about.
I
like-
did not bulk up on toilet paper, guys.
Yeah.
Didn't do it.
Yep. It is important to me to avoid pain and suffering at all times. Okay, this one's hard for me to answer for you. It is important to me to avoid pain and suffering at all times. I think that you don't like pain and suffering. So I think that you're in the middle of inaccurate and neutral.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like it. Who does? I wouldn't go like charging full force. However, I've been in situations willingly where I've had to endure pain and suffering, and I deal with it. Am I going to go seeking it out? Probably not. But again, I don't like with all my might avoid it.
This is one of those questions too, and I wonder if it was trying to get to the point of like, There are some people who like to just kind of sit in pain and suffering just to feel. Mm-hmm. And that's not you. You don't like that.
No.
You're you like more of like the party.
Yeah, although I do get in like modes where I feel very melancholy, but that's different from pain and suffering. Mm-hmm. It's like it's a different feeling. So
Okay. I'll do a couple more of these, and then maybe you can answer some for me.
Answer them for you.
Answer some for me. Like the same thing that I'm doing for you.
I can't read and bead at the same time.
I'll read it.
It's gonna be kind of hard. Okay.
All right. Next question. I seek out experiences that I know will make me feel happy or excited. That's accurate for you. Mm-hmm. I see the positive in every situation. Inaccurate. Mm-hmm. I am not afraid to tell someone when I think they are wrong. Accurate. Mm-hmm. I let other people make the decisions. Inaccurate. What do you?
No, you're right. I'm a decision person. I like to make decisions. I typically do.
Cool.
So.
I appreciate having rules that people are I'm going to read that again. I appreciate having rules that people are expected to follow. Inaccurate.
People or my children?
Like when somebody says, hey, we got to do this, and this way, I think that you rebel against that.
I usually have a giant middle finger saying,
and you're just,
no.
Yeah.
We can do it different ways.
Sometimes you hold your anger to yourself and you'll do it. It means you'll kind of be pissed off about it.
True.
I'm concerned about about security more than anything else. I think that's not more than anything else, but you do value security.
Yeah.
Between accurate and neutral, not all the way accurate.
Mm-hmm. Because I put myself in situations that are not secure. Like, I went and traveled to Mexico on a bus by myself, like in my 20s, like terrified the hell out of my mom.
Yeah.
Best choice? Probably not. Did I enjoy it? Did I like the experience? Absolutely.
I think a lot about what will happen in the future. I don't think you think about the future. I don't think you're a future thinking person. I think that I don't think you think a lot about like the future. So this is going to be in the middle of inaccurate and neutral.
I do think about the future, but it also stresses me out a lot. So I try not to overthink the future.
So where would you put yourself then? I think a lot about what will happen in the future. Do you you're not
I get anxious about the future.
So because it brings you anxiety, do you tend to avoid thinking about the future?
Yeah, because it's easier for me dealing with anxiety to deal with what's in front of me today. What do I have to deal with today?
You're a present thinker.
No, I'm more of a past thinker, honestly. I'm a nostalgic thinker. I love memories. I love fond times. I love nostalgia. I think about my childhood a lot. I base a lot of the decisions that I make now on my past, not on present.
Interesting. So what will happen in the future that's inaccurate?
Yeah.
Okay.
The only thing I think about in the future, really, honestly, is retirement. I think about when I'm retired, and I'm old, because that terrifies me.
Turn off this ringer.
That idea of growing old is terrifying to me. I want to travel the world, but I want to do it now while I'm still young. I don't want to do it when I'm old and retired. And so I get really impatient.
So you think a lot about the past?
Yeah.
I think some things my thoughts are sometimes in the past. Mm-hmm. Do you focus on fondness of things, or bad memories?
Well, typically both. But things that I maybe took for granted or wish that were different, or that I learned from that I should have done something differently about or with, or if I could change something even though I can't, what would it be? How does that affect me now? College is one of those things. Mm-hmm. But I'm also at a point where I have 3 kids and I'm also not the same person I was back then. So if I went back to Portland State now, it wouldn't be the same.
Dad, I want to play a different game.
Okay. We're going to take a quick break. But that was interesting. We'll be right back.
You're like a dream to me, a shooting star that no one sees, spinning in this blue sphere. Love's gravitation.
Okay, we're back. Can we try this the other way now?
Sure.
See how it goes. All right. Here's the question. I don't fit in with ordinary people. Do I feel like I don't fit in with ordinary people?
Yes, I think you do feel like that.
So like a lot or in the middle?
A lot, because you always compare yourself to other people. I don't think you think you're better than other people. Let me just clarify that. I do think that you compare your experiences in life to other people's, and you don't feel like they can relate to yours or that you can relate to theirs.
Okay. By the way, our son is riding his bike, so that's what those noises are. We're still parenting, which is fine, just so you know. So I don't fit in with ordinary people. So I think that is accurate, but I think it's different than why you think so.
Okay, do you want to explain yourself?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sometimes I feel like I don't fit in with ordinary people because I'm not ordinary. I feel like I have a very different life than a lot of people. I feel like I'm unique in that and I'm proud of a lot of the things too that makes me different. I'm from a very unique city. I'm from Santa Fe, the city different. I'm from New Mexico, which I feel like most people have zero clue what New Mexico's like.
They don't.
So when I think of an ordinary person, I think of somebody who is mainstream, mainstream being from some
Chicago?
yeah, I don't know, some very populous part of the country.
LA?
Whatever,
Glendale, California.
yeah.
Okay.
And I also think of that person as maybe into ordinary things. I like music that's more underground. I've always been into stuff that's kind of off the grid, I guess. I don't see myself as an ordinary person. So that's why.
Okay.
I would say that. All right. There is rarely a good reason for changing how things are done.
Like what kind of things? I think that you're open to suggestions and learning, but I also think that in certain cases, like the dishwasher, or the way you do things, like the way you put laundry away, or the way you have your habits, you get very stubborn about those things.
Yeah.
And you're not going to change the way you deal with that
Right.
to make someone else feel accommodated.
Right.
And we've had many fights about this, actually, so.
If there is rarely a good reason for changing how things are done. So there's that saying, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Why would you need to change something if the way that you're doing something is working out?
True.
So I would say, so what would you say, for me? Is that
I'd
accurate?
say that's accurate, yeah.
Yeah. I would say, for me, it's not completely, hardcore. I'm willing, like you said, I'm open-minded. If you have a better idea, I won't dig my heels in, and if you have a different way.
No, you definitely do dig your heels in.
No,
You're stubborn about things you care or believe in.
I am stubborn to a point, but if somebody says, hey, I think you should try this way, I am so open to listening to that.
But that doesn't mean you're going to change the way you do things. It just means you're open to hearing them.
I am, and if it works out better, and if I think the process is better, then I'll change.
The process.
What?
That's just funny because that's a word that fours don't like.
Process?
The process.
Yeah.
It's like reminds me of doing taxes. I'm like, ugh, get that process away from me.
Yeah.
I don't want that. Don't be saying that process stuff to me. You know?
I always finish my chores.
Yeah.
Is that inaccurate or accurate?
Chores. I think that's accurate. I just think that it's on your own timeline. Like, there's been times where I've legit been like, I need this done, and I have asked for things. And you will do it, but it definitely won't be on my timeline. It won't be when I need you to do it.
Right.
You will do it whenever the hell you feel like you want to do it. And you'll get it done. Again, won't be when I ask you to. It'll be on another timeline altogether.
Right. Yeah.
But it does get done. It's just not, you're not going to listen to me.
Uh-huh.
When I say, hey, can you do this? Like, when I say, hey, can you do this? I'm thinking like today right
Junior?
now, sometime this week. And for you, that might be like, oh, I'll get to that like over winter break next year.
Yeah.
So that's a little hard because I think for me, like a thought pops into my head and I go do it. Like, oh, this is an idea? Yeah, gonna go execute that now.
Right. It's kind of like your dad. He just came by and I told him, hey, I've been trying to figure out this bench. And he's like, yeah, let's do it now. And he just like...
I think I got that from my dad, actually.
Yeah.
Just growing up with that man.
Well, your dad supposedly is a 2, which is the helper.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay.
He's definitely a helper, for sure.
Next question. I am always trying to be a better person.
Better in what way? I wouldn't say better, like morally better. I would say informed. Like, I think you are always trying to inform yourself towards learning something. You're always just talking or listening about like faith studies or like theology or like, it may not make you a better person, but you're always like trying to like improve your point of view.
Right.
So I don't know. It's hard. That's hard to answer. Like better, I don't think better is the word I would use, but more informed. Maybe that is better. I don't know.
So I would say for me that this is accurate because I do want to be a better person. I look at myself, a lot of times I do have like a kind of low view of myself. And I want to be a better person, a better version of who I am. So a more fit person, a more active person, a better...
No more candy, you. Talking to your son.
Yeah.
He's had enough candy.
Yeah. Should we pause?
No, he just needs
Well,
to take it easy.
Juju has been wild on candy.
She's also asleep now.
Let's have Candy Crush.
All right.
It's okay. We're fine. We're doing
So yeah, I think I do want to be a better person.
okay.
Because the person who I am is not always up to my standards or my, like, it's not up to par with what I want to be or who I want to be. So I would answer this as accurate.
Okay.
I check carefully for mistakes and errors.
I'd say you're pretty detail oriented.
I check carefully for mistakes and errors. This is a confusing question to me. Like, mistakes and errors where?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like,
So if I write a paper for
it's like
school,
a paper, you're gonna check for that, but like,
so this is,
or you're gonna ask someone else to look it over at least. Like, you're gonna care enough to be like, hey, can you read this for me and tell me?
actually, I can give two shits.
Really?
Yeah, I write my paper and I submit it, and I don't give a shit if there's an error. Like, it's there.
Oh,
So.
I did not know that.
All right. So
Now I do.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna take a pause and maybe finish this some other time, whenever we feel like it.
Okay.
All right. Be right back, or be back sometime. All right, right, we're back.
I can see our friend's house, the neighbors, and I think they're watching Scooby-Doo.
We're spying on them.
I know. Well, I can see their TV. Oh, yeah, there it is. There is Daphne, and
You know, I think Amanda sometimes listens in.
she does. Hey, Amanda, we're watching Scooby-Doo.
So we've spent the day sitting around getting donuts, getting breakfast.
All takeout. Yes, we're being safe. Calm down, America.
Calm down. Relax, America. No, don't relax.
I mean, still be diligent.
Yeah, slow the spread.
Yeah, slow the spread.
However, yeah.
So, yeah, I was just spying at our neighbors through their window because they're watching Scooby-Doo. Here comes a kid.
How do they know where you are?
It's like I have radar. Yes, can I help you, ma'am?
Can I ride my bike?
In the driveway? Sure.
Do you want some Cheez-Its instead?
She says, thank you. Thank you. It's fine.
One of these days I'll have a studio
One of these days.
where there's no sounds, no jewelry clinking around, no bikes.
What's wrong with jewelry? You told me you were cool with this.
No, I am, but like,
Okay.
it's nice to have, like, have you ever listened to a podcast
Mom,
and there's just like a bunch of shit going on in the background?
Oh, like ours?
Like ours, yeah.
can you open this?
Can I open what here?
Um,
Open this.
I'm gonna pause.
Okay, go ahead.
And we're back.
This is what, our third time attempting this?
I don't know.
We lost count, guys.
This might
It's
be-
Easter. You should drink.
We've also been answering
should
questions to a survey on the first part of this show, so it's
It's all over the place, guys.
yeah. All right.
In
I
case
guess-
you're wondering, I've been stringing beads for days.
She's been beating.
Why? Because I have nothing better to do with
She's
my
a-
hands or my time.
Nope, she's a beater.
That's the thing. I feel like, okay, this might sound silly to some, but at least at the end of this, I have something physical and tangible to show for my time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like,
You
it
just
might
didn't
be
sit
silly.
around and play Xbox.
Right. I have all these giant beaded strands. I'll probably give them away for free. I mean, shit, it's fine. The point is, I have all these tangible things that I can be like, this is what I did. Here's a physical representation.
But do you have to have something to show for this, or is it okay if you just sit around?
I think that's up to you. That's up to whoever you are and what you decide. For me, I feel really guilty if I just sit around. So maybe it's just me not feeling guilty, even though I'm doing something sort of pointless. You know? Could just
Yeah.
be a guilt thing.
I gotcha. I'm
I'm
the
gonna
same
make
way.
some beautiful art out of this, though. Like,
Yeah.
regardless of what happens, I'm gonna make some amazing art. So
Yeah.
it's not all in vain.
So yesterday I went for a run and I was thinking, man, I think that the coronavirus might be one of the best things for my marriage.
And then today we almost murdered each other.
Just because, like, I'm thinking to myself, like, yeah, I was kind of put out of my comfort zone a little bit, like being with my SO, which was a new term that I found out today,
Significant other.
Significant
for those
other.
that don't know.
for the entirety of the workday, and trying to figure out how to be productive, because I'm still on the books as a teacher, like, and I still have to do stuff, and I'm trying to figure out how to be productive and do those things while being here. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So,
Sorry.
well, there's a lot of noise right now.
I'm sorry. I dropped a bead, but it was a really cool bead, and I don't want to lose it. This is where my mental state's at. It's slowly declining over beads, guys.
You know what? Our podcast definitely has a lot of background noise, and I think that
Sorry.
people who listen in
Not
are
sorry.
aware of that. Here's the thing, though. I think that we are telling a story, and I hope that. Here's what's cool about audio is that your brain kind of fills in the rest, right?
Mm-hmm.
With video, you kind of have to be precise with like camera angles and focus and cuts and all this other stuff like that I don't know because I didn't go to whatever college that is that people go to for
Art
that.
school?
Yeah. But with audio, you just record and whatever sounds happen, people can fill in the blanks. Hopefully, it's...
If you guys have to turn it off, it's fine.
No, it's not fine. Don't
You're
do
not
that.
offending us.
You're
You're not
offending me.
I'm not offended.
Yeah. Anyway, no, I'm not either. Like, I think it's a good thing. Like,
Yeah, I think so too.
there's a podcast I listen to. It's Richard Rohr. What is it called? A Case? No. I have to look it up. It's Richard Rohr. Hang on. Look at my other phone
I
here.
will not.
I sent you an episode of it.
I know.
Another name for everything. And in the beginning of the podcast, they have a disclaimer, and they say, just to let you guys know, we're in a quirky neighborhood in Albuquerque. I'm like, yeah, you guys
What
are
neighborhood was it?
They're in the South Valley.
Oh,
So you might hear different noises. I'm
like
like
chickens.
or goats or boomboxes or
People singing in Spanish corridos.
gunshots. Like, who knows?
Whatever, depends on the day.
But
fine.
we have no disclaimer. Maybe we should get one.
Disclaimer: we're just living life here,
Mm-hmm.
just doing our thing. Might be sort of loud for you,
Right.
but maybe not.
Maybe we won't talk in the mic, and maybe there'll be bead sounds, and maybe like kids are going to be riding bikes around or
Are you
cars
being
or airplanes.
passive-aggressive right
No, definitely not.
Okay. I might sneeze in 2 seconds. Oh, now it's gone.
All right.
Wait,
So where were we? Don't sneeze.
I'm gonna.
Please don't. You can
I can't
hold
help
back. Just don't. Oh god.
See, I told you.
That was not a bad sneeze. All right. So we were doing like and there's a child. Is there a child? No, it's just the air.
Paranoia.
All right. We were doing the questionnaire. I guess we can kind of go on a little bit about that, and then maybe talk about the languages we speak, because that's one thing that I want to explore.
Do you want to speak my language?
Yeah, that's offensive.
Is it?
Yeah, you're making fun of my
I'm not
culture, bro.
making fun of anybody, bro.
All right.
That's a child.
It was a child. All right, we'll be back
Bye.
at some later point in time.
Juju.
And we're back.
We're back.
Kids had some Easter egg things that Nammy and Papa brought them, so
Demanded our full attention. Your
Right.
full attention.
yeah. All right, so I guess we should get back to
The nitty gritty.
the nitty-gritty.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do it.
We were answering questions on a boring survey,
Yeah.
but kind of having some discussion about like how much we know about each other and like how we'd answer it.
Right.
So I think it was still my turn.
I think so.
I like to be around people who I can help.
Who you can help?
Yeah.
Yes, even if they don't necessarily want your help. I'm speaking for myself.
That's interesting. Yeah, I guess I do like to help.
Sorry, that was an asshole thing to say. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said it like that.
No, like,
No, that was seriously like, I shouldn't have said it like that.
okay. I didn't take offense to it, but
I mean, I did after I said it. I was like, that's a jerk thing to say.
well, now I'm offended. No, so like I'm not gonna go out of my way to help somebody if they don't want help, and I'm not gonna try to help people.
But you do that to me all the time. Like, you try to help me, and I'm like, Zoe, I got this. And you're like, just let me help you. And I'm like, I don't need help. Like, I don't want help. I'm good.
Maybe the dynamic is different. I'm thinking about work, I think.
Okay.
So if I see somebody struggling really badly at work with some sort of like technology, like I feel pretty strong about like my tech knowledge at work.
You're tech savvy. You're a tech superstar.
But I'm sort of like an underutilized asset, I think, at my work. Like, not a lot of people know that I enjoy technology, and I kind of I'm hoping that somebody is just gonna like automatically notice that I like tech, and like
people aren't that astute. You mostly have to say stuff like that.
Right. Well, I mean, at the same time, I don't want to be found out. Like, I don't want to be like just bugged for like every little thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
So it's this weird balance. Like
You walk a fine line.
Yeah.
So.
Like I want to be noticed that like I'm saying like a lot and I need to stop. But you get the point.
You want to be noticed for what you're good at, but you also don't want to be taken advantage of because you're good at it.
Right.
Is that accurate?
It's accurate, yeah. Although like being taken advantage is not something that I'm worried about. Like I've probably have been taken advantage of. In fact, I know I have, especially in like relationships like a long time ago. And it's not like a big deal for me. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
I don't. Maybe just because I can't empathize with that. And I don't mean that in a rude way. I can't
if somebody
empathize
wanted
with
to
that.
take advantage of me for whatever reason, if like wanted to exploit me for whatever reason, I probably would let that happen.
But why?
I don't know.
You should just say no.
Probably, but I don't. So maybe I look at it as being helpful. I'm not sure. So, anyways, I do like to help, but I don't want to offer my help in a way that's gonna like bug
Make
you.
a schoolboy bitch.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
All right, moving on. I like to feel that I am an important person in my social groups.
Yeah, I think that's true. You get really upset when people don't consider you or they don't reach out to you as much as you would like them to. Or if there's an expectation on a certain relationship. I think that it bothers you more than you
So
say.
let me slow down the question. I feel that I am an important person
Yeah.
in my
heard it
social groups.
The first time.
You think I am? You think I feel that way?
Yeah.
So
You get upset when people don't text you or like when you feel like they should be communicating something with you and they don't.
So, I feel like my social groups can take or leave me.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You
No,
feel
like they can take or leave me. Like I am not important to my social groups. Like if I'm not there.
Oh,
like,
I guess maybe I took it as you want to be seen as.
No, it says I feel that I am an important person in the my social groups.
That's my bad. I just misunderstood the question. Sorry about that.
So I don't, and to be honest, I could probably get by without having any social groups.
That's sad.
Maybe, but I'm trying to put my finger on as to why. Like there is probably one good friend who I actually call, and like
His birthday it was.
and genuinely concerned about like their well-being and like how they're doing and like who I enjoy their time. You know what I mean? I don't have any other friends who I really care about like that. You know what I mean?
And
And
those other guys though.
what's that?
I said I'd hate to be those other guys though.
What other guys? The guys that I don't really care too
Yeah.
much about?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm very loyal, but to a small number of people.
Yeah. I see
Extremely small.
that. I see that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get that. I see that in you.
And I'm grateful for you in my life because you kind of
Do I complete you?
sure.
I'm just kidding. You don't have to say that.
You kind of put me out a little bit. Like you put me out there a little bit.
Would you say I socially pimp you?
Yeah, I guess so.
Sorry.
There have been some relationships that would not have happened if it wasn't for you.
It's because I'm a very social person.
You kind of you're
I thrive on that a lot.
you're social to the point where it's uncomfortable for me.
Yeah.
You like
You know that part
ask
about
people.
me not caring about how I feel, how people think of me?
Yeah.
That's that part.
You invite yourself to into people's lives, and that to me is uncomfortable.
Invite? I don't think I invite myself into
To me, it
anybody's
feels like
life.
imposing. Like you're like, hey, like we're gonna like invade somebody's life, and to you, it's just like, hey, I'm being social, and to me,
Give me an example, because I feel like to me, I just try to offer like, hey, we're here to hang out if you are down. Like it's like an invitation of like mutuality. It's not something that I'm like, I don't ever want to like force myself on people.
no, I don't think you do. I think you're just your personality, and I'm not like I'm not trying to say that you do that. I'm just saying, to me, in my personality, like, I don't impose myself on people because I feel like,
I try not to impose myself.
no, I don't, in fact, I don't think you do.
You just said that.
I don't think you do, but to me, it feels like that.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Sure. For the sake of arguments, let's just say
Okay,
yes.
so you're not, because you're just doing what Lindsay's been doing for 35 years. You know what I mean?
I guess.
Like,
I'm
you're just,
also 36.
but
so.
like, you didn't have any friends when you were 1.
Okay, wow, we're getting technical.
All right, so you're just doing what you've been doing for your entire life,
Sure.
basically.
Okay.
And now I'm a part of your life, and you're just doing what you're doing. And for me, like, I have never really been, I've never,
I just like can't imagine living my life the way you do.
I can't imagine myself living the way like you do, because we're different people.
Of course. It's just crazy to me, though, that you're so scared of socialization.
I'm not scared of socialization. I don't want to, I am not going to, like,
Put yourself out there.
tell somebody, like, hey, I'm here, I'm going to hang out with you.
I don't say that. I don't say that.
No, okay, yeah. Anyways, let's move on.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
I am, I'm comfortable being alone a lot of the times, or like being by myself, or social groups are not like my thing, and that's okay. I think there's a lot of people who are like that.
Sure.
It is important. Let's do,
I don't, I'm kind of,
You're kind of done with this?
no, I don't know. It's
What?
fine. I guess I didn't realize you felt that way
What way?
about me.
Which way?
That I impose myself on people.
No, I don't think you do.
And I will try not to do that around you.
Okay, so here's how I feel, and I will tell you how I feel.
Okay.
I don't think you impose yourself. I am grateful that I am with you, because you're helping me to not be so secluded.
And sad.
Yeah, and sad, I guess. Even though, like, I'm not sad when I'm secluded.
Oh, but you could be.
But I'm not. I'm not sad when I'm secluded. Like, I enjoy solidarity, or is that the word? Like, being alone?
Seclusion.
Seclusion. Like, if I'm in a work situation and I find a place to eat my lunch, I love to be alone, and I want to be alone. And if some coworker says, hey, there's Lorenzo, I know him, I work with him, and then they come sit with me, I'm like, why the fuck did you come sit with me? I'm enjoying my lunch by myself, and I didn't want any company.
See, I'm the total opposite of that. I would be so happy that they considered me.
And I don't want that. I want to watch my little show that I'm watching, like whatever, like news thing, or listen to a podcast and be by myself. And I don't want your company. Like, you can go away.
Maybe that's why you have such a hard time with our kids.
No, I love our kids. I love being with our
I didn't
kids.
say you didn't love them.
No, I know. I love being with our kids. But I'm just saying, like, other people, like, socially, like, so socially, like, being by myself is my happy place. And it's good for me not to be, I can get too comfortable in that like alone place. You know what I mean?
I do.
So it's good that you are here to say, hey friends, we want to hang out. Like, let's go eat lunch together. Let's watch each other chew food. Like, that's it's funny to me. It's funny to me.
It's not funny to me.
Why?
Because when I eat around you, you turn into a jerk.
And we're back.
It's days later.
Days later. Lindsay's still beating, though.
I'm back in the same place I was 3 days ago.
Still beating.
Okay, but I've sold like almost all the strands I made, so now I have to make more. That's how this goes.
Do it. Make more strands.
I'm doing it now.
Big thanks to Gio
Yes, Gio,
for providing a giant bucket full of beads.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy.
Yeah, so a couple days later, like we've been kind of in and out of moods. We've been in and out of
It's been hell here, people.
sometimes, and sometimes it's been good. But today has been good because it's our son's 8th birthday.
Yeah.
We had a quarantine birthday party. Lindsay's mom organized a parade.
Yeah, so there was a parade of cars. My mom told us, be in your driveway at 4 o'clock. And I'm like, okay. So we did that. And there was a parade of cars going by, honking horns with signs telling our son happy birthday. And it was really cute. It was really sweet. It was very heartwarming. It was, the neighbors probably think we're crazy. I don't really care. But yeah, just like friends of ours, like Luke's friends, people in cars driving by and honking and waving signs saying happy birthday. And it was just very, very cute. There was confetti. It was pretty impressive for a quarantine birthday.
Definitely.
Lucky dude.
Yeah. I almost think that a quarantine birthday is better than a non sometimes.
I know. This is like one of the best birthdays he's ever had.
There was no cleanup. I didn't have to like sit around and like talk to people.
People were in and out in 10 minutes, 20 minutes. They came in waves. They brought presents. They dropped them off. It was like
And then they
doorstep
left.
service. And then they left.
We didn't have to like
We didn't have
make
to
them
feed them.
food.
Yeah, it's great.
Well, there was no like, I don't know. Yeah, it was good.
Quarantine birthdays are where it's at, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
I'm happy with the way it went down.
Me too.
Oh, here comes the child. The child that would not leave the video gaming system
Is now here.
now has decided that it's a good time to come out.
Yep.
Oh, what do you need, buddy? What's the haps?
Just turn off. Dad just turned off my bead. Just turn off.
Oh, you're in trouble.
Juliet's watching something. That's fine. He could be out here.
Video game.
He could be out here.
He basically just like told you like, you just turned off my video game.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna wreck your world.
Yeah. So, anyways, this might just be a very long quarantine style episode.
Dad,
I think we're all in this together.
you didn't ask.
Oh, he doesn't have to ask. He's in charge. And yet, here. Oh,
They're all here
Now
now.
they're all here. It's like they know.
Wonderful. Okay.
What are you
we're
guys
back.
doing?
We will be back. And we're back.
Again. Still beating.
Still beating.
Trying to keep my wits about me.
Yeah. I think you guys can relate to us
Hope you can.
with
If
your
not, what's wrong with
quarantine.
us?
So, count your lucky stars because you're going to make it through this quarantine not broke, not divorced,
Maybe not sane.
not insane.
Oh.
Oh. All right. So, I wanted to, so there were, okay. So when I go on runs, which I have been doing a lot recently, not the last 2 days though. I went yesterday.
You did. You went yesterday.
I actually had a really fast time yesterday because it was snowing. I ran in the snow.
Yeah, it was 75 on Friday, and then it snowed yesterday. So I'm not really sure where that leaves us, but
But I do much better in cold weather for whatever reason.
Oh.
Like a couple days ago when it was hot.
yesterday I was like, nope.
Yeah.
Not gonna do it.
Yesterday I was like, hell yeah, I'll run it snowing.
Hell yeah, run in the snow, bro.
Hell yeah, bro.
Hell yeah, bro.
Um,
do that. Do that for you, nature. Oh my god. I need to get out more.
Anyways, like, yeah, that was one of my fastest times. I run on Strava, so find me on Strava, y'all, if you want to.
Y'all. Who are you talking to?
But I have thoughts, and I actually do a YouTube channel where I call it Running Thoughts, and I have about 4 or 5 videos because I do my deepest thinking when I'm running. But one of these thoughts that I had as I was running
You were like, why have I not murdered my wife yet? Oh, that's
No.
right. I do love
Of
her.
course, I would never murder you.
Not yet.
Carol Baskin
Give
killed
it
her
time.
husband.
Give it time. Mm-hmm. You may want to murder me at the end of this.
So,
Just saying.
I'm never gonna want to murder you.
Hey, never say never.
All right.
Okay.
This will be a different type of podcast if that happens.
It will be parenting versus it'll just be me alone.
Yep. Also, by the way, I bought Parenting vs Podcast, Parenting versus Podcast.com, and I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, we bought the domain.
Yeah,
So that's exciting.
We're official.
We're official people.
All right, so here's one of the ideas that came into my mind was self-hate. I just wrote down self-hate.
Oh. Care to be more specific?
Well, I think that means something different for different people. But I think a lot of different people do self-hate in different ways.
Do self-hate.
Like experience self-hate in different ways. And I'm not sure why I wrote this down as I was running, but I know that I do have self-hate a lot of times. And I know that a lot of different people do. And apparently, since we're talking about the Enneagram, it is a characteristic of type 4s especially. And I'm not sure if you can speak to that, but...
Yes, I can, but I'm not going to do it on a podcast.
Well, you don't have to, but
Yeah,
I guess type 4s have a lot of self-hate, which I didn't realize or know about, and I don't know if I can experience that. I can't experience that. But I've experienced it, and that's why I wrote it down, I guess. So
I think 4s often feel like we're phonies. We feel like if people actually knew the real part of me that I'm always struggling with, they would not like it. And therefore, I can't be honest with people all the time because they're not going to like it or they're not going to be able to handle it. And that makes you a little self-loathing. Like sometimes you're just like, why can't I just shut that part of myself off and just be normal like everybody else? Or like, why can't I just deal with things the way that other people do? Like, why can't I just be happy with a 9-to-5 job and 3 kids and a house and a picket fence? Like everyone else seems to want that. Why don't I want those things? Like, we're constantly dealing with internal struggle. We know what we should, by society standards, want to be and do and act like, but we don't want the same things that a lot of people do. And so it's really hard for us to like ourselves because we want to be genuine, which means being true to ourselves, but we also struggle with that, how that genuine makes us not fit in with mainstream things. If that makes sense.
it does. Thank you for sharing that. That was a lot.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to be like every other woman my age.
A basic bitch.
No, I don't. And that's not to say, if that's the thing too. I don't want to judge people. If that makes you happy, if that's your thing, if that's what you're about and you want pumpkin spice lattes in the fall.
And a Coors Light in the winter.
And you want Uggs and you want to live in Denver and have that life. I'm not here to tell you that that's wrong. If that's what you want, then you get that for you.
Own it.
That's just not what I want. Life looks a lot differently. An ideal life situation looks a lot differently to me than it probably does to a lot of people.
You want a mid-century modern bungalow in Palm Springs with succulents in the front yard.
Yeah, and I want to have cocktails with 87-year-olds by my pool, and I want to talk about life with them, and I want to talk about art with them. That's what I want to do with my life.
And smoke a cigarette in one of those cigarette long holders like Cruella de Vil had.
But I don't smoke.
It could be a candy cigarette.
Yeah. No, it's weird because I think a lot of times people think that 4s like myself, we're trying to be quirky. We're not. We're just being who we are. And it's funny because people are like, oh, you're so quirky. I like that. You're so weird. And that just turns us off even more. Because we're I don't want to be labeled something. I don't know how to explain this to people that don't understand it.
Yeah.
We just want to be able to genuinely be who we are without having to put a label on everything or feel like we fit into somebody's box all the time.
Yeah.
And we definitely don't want people to have us quote unquote figured out. That's the biggest insult.
See, I kind of identify with some of that.
Like, I hate when people are like, oh, I think I have you figured out. I'm like, the fuck you do.
You're like, you want to fight? Let's throw blows.
Yeah, I'm like, you think you know anything about me? You know nothing about me.
You're like, catch me outside, bitch.
Catch me outside my bungalow. Bring me a martini, motherfucker.
So anyways, okay, cool. Thanks for sharing that. That was
Now you know.
informative. I have self-hate as well, but not as extensive as yours. I think,
For that?
no, I mean, it's fine.
I don't hate myself as much as you hate yourself.
Um,
I think it's an artist thing. And I don't mean to say that like blasé, but like artists are never satisfied with their own work. Even if people are telling them it's good. Or they're saying, wow, that's amazing. That's so good. Artists are never satisfied with their own stuff.
right.
And it could be amazing to somebody else, but like to the actual artist, they're always going to look at it as like kind of like phony or
Yeah, like, don't
Sell out,
compliment
or,
my
like-
art. Like, why are you doing
like
that?
you don't understand my art. Like you don't.
Also, like,
that
somebody's
sounds so
art is
snobby
more-
the way
is-
I say it though.
People's art is deeper than just, like, lines on a paper or...
But that's the thing. Fours, we make art, but we do it to make ourselves feel happy. We don't do it for other people. Like that's the difference. Some people do their art because they want to be like admired. That's not why that's not why fours do it. We do
Yeah.
it because we don't know how to express ourselves any other way
Yeah.
that makes sense to us.
Yeah, I get it. Well, that was a lot.
Sorry.
No,
See?
don't-
A lot for people to handle.
No, like, it's not a lot for me to handle. I know you.
Do you?
Yes,
Don't you dare have me figured out.
I might.
No, you
all right.
don't.
So the other one, there were other things I wrote down. One thing that I wrote down that I wanted to talk about was dealing with mental health issues that you didn't even know you had.
Oh, okay.
And I can speak to this because this is me talking, and I don't know if you can say whatever you want, but
I can.
as parents of young children, I always hear this from people who are parents and like their kids grew up. They're like, yeah, like parenting young kids, that was like the hardest time of our life. I'm like, I don't know how I can take that, like being in the thick of it,
Yeah, it's hard when people say
But,
that. And you're like, come over to my house.
but
Watch my
definitely,
kids right now.
definitely parenting kids who are little have exposed some of those mental health issues of my own that I'm like, whoa, I didn't know I had that. So one thing that I've discovered about myself, which I am going to talk to my counselor about as soon as I schedule a video conference, because it doesn't seem like I'm going to get a face-to-face anytime soon. But
I don't think anyone's getting a face-to-face with anybody else
Yeah.
right now for anything.
I'm starting to find
Paper,
out.
toilet paper.
Yeah. I'm starting to find out that I have a couple of different flavors of OCD. Not just one,
Really?
but I have a few. And some of them I don't want to talk about
Okay.
because they're very personal, very private, and very much like things that hurt me and like that are like pretty intense and like I don't know how to deal with yet. But one of them, which I don't know is OCD or not, but I am tormented by decisions. Like it's not.
That's true, and that's not to be rude. That's true.
Well, for the longest time, I thought like, oh, this is something that a lot of people deal with, but I'm like, no, I am like tormented by little shit, and it pisses me the fuck off. And I'm sorry if you're my parents or like Lindsay's parents, and I just said an F
Somebody
word.
crying?
I don't care. No, they're playing.
Dying pterodactyl?
Probably, and they're gonna come in here if we keep talking about it. Don't jinx it.
I'm sorry.
So little decisions really set me off, and I wonder too if OCD is not part of somebody's personality, but part of somebody's like traumatic like background.
Could be.
I have no idea. But little decisions are tormenting for me, and I'll give you an example. And I think I've told you this before.
You probably have.
But so we listen to a lot of music, and I love music. And when you subscribe to Google Play Music, you also get YouTube music.
I'm sorry. I'm not. I'm sorry.
No, it's fun. You can laugh.
I'm not trying to laugh at you. It's just funny because I can already see how the situation that you're going to explain plays out in our. Yeah. I'm sorry. Okay.
So when you subscribe for Google Play Music, which we have, as a bonus, you get YouTube music. And I'm like, cool, I have 2 music subscribing services. But now I have to make a decision. And literally, this has been tormenting me for 2 years.
I'm sorry. I could just like give two fucks about any of that. Not your feelings, but like that is not something that I would even think about for 2 days.
So can you imagine like where I am?
No, I can't. That sounds terrible.
It is.
I'm so sorry.
You're not sorry. You're laughing at me. It is terrible.
I'm not laughing at you. I can see that because I know sometimes I look at your face or I look at what you're doing and I can see that you're like agonizing about something and it looks very serious. And then I ask you like what it is and it's something like that. And I thoroughly don't understand it. Okay. I don't understand it, but it's okay. I'm done now.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks a lot. And I don't know why I can't make a decision, but I have to decide like which one am I going to use. So I kind of halfway use both.
Until you can commit to one?
Or
what makes the decision for you would be my question. Like how do you...
It's kind of unsettled.
Like how do you decipher like what you want? Genuinely.
I don't. Like it's kind of unsettled until there's something that kind of takes one away from the other. So I've kind of been halfway in between, and I know that finally Google is starting to make the decision to move towards committing to YouTube Music.
Cut the cord, Google.
So Google Play Music is not going to be a thing anymore. And YouTube Music is going to be like their main like music thing. Mm-hmm. So and sooner or later I'm not going to have a choice.
Does it offer you comfort? Not
yes, it offers me comfort. It offers me comfort that I'm not going to have to make the decision.
Okay. Huh.
Because it is literally like anxiety inducing.
Maybe you're
stressful.
A communist.
Huh? Maybe I'm what?
So maybe you're a communist.
No, I'm not a communist.
I'm kidding.
It causes a lot of like shit that I don't need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
These little decisions.
Yeah, I could see that.
So anytime I'm faced with some sort of little stupid decision where I have a choice and like there's not a whole lot of difference between those two decisions, it's like anxiety inducing. Like deep.
Interesting. Can you move your phone? Sorry.
So I think that is more than likely some flavor of OCD, and I'm definitely going to talk about my counselor about it because it sucks, and it's not something that I'm proud about, and it's definitely something I get laughed about even. So
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have laughed at you. I'm sorry that I did. I
know
it's not called for, but.
And what's the worst? I mean, I'm used to it because I like when I look back, like I've had that my entire life.
I'm sorry. Like I shouldn't have laughed at you.
It's fine. I'm used to it.
It's not fine though. It's not nice.
And one of the things that hurts me the most is like when there's somebody who can make a decision and they like put that pressure on you, like make a fucking decision. Like what the fuck is wrong with you? I've had people tell me that. And I'm like, I can't. Like there's something inside of me, like I can't make that decision. Like, and on top of that, I have pressure, like somebody like saying like, well, just make a fucking decision. Like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with me.
I try to make decisions for you sometimes, but I always feel like you're going to resent the decision I make, and so I try not to.
Well, most of the time, I don't want anybody to make any decisions for me. Mm-hmm. Although, if somebody puts some sort of weight towards if I admire a person, they put some weight towards one way or the other, I will take that in. Like I will take that. Mm-hmm. Some big examples have been like I've told you this, like when I was in college, like I wanted to move to San Diego.
Yeah.
And my parents are like, "Oh no, San Diego's expensive." I'm like, "Oh yeah, you're probably right. I shouldn't go there." Even though, like, how much different would my life have been if I would have gone to San Diego instead of, like, stayed in Albuquerque? Like, maybe better, maybe worse. Yeah. But I don't know. So, anyways. I don't know if you want to touch on that topic at all or not, but...
No, I think you pretty much covered it for you. I don't feel like I have a problem with that. My problem is the complete opposite of that.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many decisions that I want to do all of them, and that helps me to have a hard time narrowing it down to just one. So
Yeah.
I don't think that we necessarily struggle with the same thing.
Did you add to this list too?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Didn't think I was paying attention, did you?
I didn't. No, we have a shared notes list.
You know, I can surprise you sometimes.
Yeah. Are there any of these that you wanted to talk about in particular? Some of these you added, I didn't even realize. The game of cards, Would You Rather? Did you put that?
Yeah. Because we have that game, Would You Rather. I was thinking it'd be fun to go over those cards, like on a podcast. And
Oh,
like,
that'd be fun. We could do that for another one.
yeah. Anyway, I think I'm good on topics for now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think we have a full episode right now.
we do.
All right, so what are you listening to?
Not a whole lot. I started listening to a podcast that's local here that you suggested to me.
Yeah?
Oh, hey, homie.
Yeah. He's just like looking at us. I'm
He's
like,
just like dead staring at me as he's driving
how
by.
did he even know we were here? That was weird.
He's like, ooh. Well, the garage door's open. He probably was just seeing what was up. Maybe he's going to rob us later. I don't really know. I started listening to this other local podcast called True Consequences, the True Consequences podcast. It's produced here in New Mexico. I think he might be from Taos.
Shout out local podcasts. Dude.
Yeah, that's from what I gather. He's like from northern New Mexico, just based on the content of his stories are mostly based out of northern New Mexico. But I'm really excited that New Mexico is coming up with like more podcasts and people doing projects.
He's a good storyteller.
He's a great storyteller. I'm excited. I think it's cool that we like have this going on and that people feel like, you know, oh yeah, I can definitely make a podcast in New Mexico. Like, why the hell not? Like, I'm proud. I'm proud to say that we do that here. I just finished the dating game Killer. That podcast was intense. Mm-hmm. Lots of rape and murder in that one. So wouldn't suggest it for everybody. Definitely not for everybody. However, it was really interesting. It's about Rodney Alcala. If you are into true crime, you may or may not know who that is already, but it kind of follows his story about how he got caught and his victims. And it's just a very interesting timeline that they divulge. So I really enjoyed that one. And it's a short listen. It's a couple episodes. It's like, I think it's like 6 or 8 episodes. It's not overly like lengthy and it doesn't require like a huge commitment. So I really enjoy listening to that one. But yeah, I really haven't been listening to a whole lot of podcasts lately just because I feel like we've been home with the kids trying to keep them entertained like 24/7. So
What about music?
music, you know, I really haven't listened to much music lately either. That's really sad to say. My friend sent me not Meg Myers, although she's great. My friend sent me a musician I already listened to who I cannot think of her name right now, and was like, I think you'd like this. And then I listened to it. I was like, I know this and I do like it. And that's really cool that you know that I like this.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I just can't think right now. I feel like I haven't really listened to much. Spooked has a couple new episodes out, so that's always a nice treat when they come out. Mm-hmm. That guy has an amazing narration style as well. Although the episodes are kind of inconsistent with their releases. So it's like you just never know.
Right.
But there was a new one that came out recently, and so I did catch up with that one, which was cool. That's really it for me. Nothing too crazy.
Very good.
Yeah, what about you?
I'll start with music. We've been but like it just kind of happens. We've been doing like sort of like little dancing parties, and our kids have been watching Trolls World Tour.
Yes, they have. No,
and Juliet, our 3-year-old, soon to be 4-year-old, really enjoys the soundtrack, and I enjoy it too. It's like musically, like it's good.
Yeah.
It's like Justin Timberlake and then Anna Faris. No, not Anna Faris.
Kendrick.
Kendrick Lamar. No, Kendrick.
Anna Kendrick.
Anna Kendrick.
Anna Kendrick Lamar, everyone. Anna Kendrick Lamar.
Although I do love me some Kendrick Lamar. That's the type of hip hop I like, actually. Like, very, like, gritty, rhymey, not so, like, nonsense words, but, like shouts and stuff like that. Like the shouts, like the offbeats. Like, I don't like that. Yeah. But Kendrick Lamar, I can groove.
He can groove.
I can groove his flow.
You
Anyways,
can pick up what he's putting down?
I do.
Okay.
But Trolls World Tour, like, the soundtrack is fun. Like,
Yeah,
it's musically good. Like, there's a lot of bass lines in there that I enjoy. Like, it's fun. Also, Mike Herrera has an album called Moments Like These, Texas. And it's all acoustic. It's a live show. I just love Mike Herrera. Like, I just love him. Like, he's an amazing man.
He's a gentleman and a scholar.
Yeah.
We're getting into that.
And I've said this 1,000 times already, but it is probably going to go down as my favorite album of 2020. Interrobang by Bayside. Bayside is a band that I'm just like, holy shit, like, where have you been all my life?
If you love him so much, why don't you marry him?
I probably will.
Good thing.
Marry all members of the band if they will let me. A band that I kind of stumbled upon is this band called Private Island, and they have a male and a female vocalist, and they're really good. And this album I've been listening to is called... I think the album's called A Good Look.
I just want to ride my bike.
Okay. So there's that. And as far as podcasts, and that's another thing that is when it comes back to when it comes back to choices. Podcasts, there's a couple of different podcast apps. There's Google Podcasts and Apple Podcasts. And I'm like, what do I do? Anyways, podcasts that I've been listening to, Another Name for Everything. With Richard Rohr, this most recent episode called Emotional Buoyancy. Like, I felt like breaking down crying a couple times. Like, it was just intense. And just getting to know emotions and getting to know people and getting to know, like, yourself and getting to know, like, where God is in all of this. Like, Richard Rohr is a voice that, like, evangelical community says, like, you shouldn't listen to. But at the same time, when I hear him speak, I'm like, this guy has so much truth. How can you not, like, listen to him?
Right.
And there's two hosts, a male and a female, and they both have kids, and they kind of talk about parenting too. Like, so for parents, like,
which is helpful.
yes,
for
parents, this most recent episode, Emotional Buoyancy, was like so good. Like, it was so good. Listen to it.
So good. Listen to it.
Like, seriously.
Do it now.
I've been listening to Small Things Often, sometimes with you, sometimes not. But these little clips.
They're helpful. Yes, ma'am.
Can I have my cupcake now?
Nope, we're gonna have it after
If
dinner.
you go inside,
We'll do
we'll go get one.
Oh,
Go
okay.
inside first.
The rules changed.
No, when Mom says, but you have to go inside
told her.
though.
Okay.
Okay.
I told her after dinner.
Yeah, exactly. After dinner, but she has to go inside first.
Come on, Daddy.
Yeah, come
No,
on,
we'll be
Daddy.
there. We'll be there in a minute.
Okay.
You did it.
That's how you do it.
Just gonna be back here in 5 minutes.
Doesn't matter. That's all we need. All right. So, Emotional Buoyancy, so good. The other ones I've been listening to, actually, look, City on the Edge has a new episode. Albuquerque in the time of COVID-19. I want to listen to that. I have not listened to that yet, but the recent one before that was good.
Mom,
What, sir?
Dad, can I open those two at the table?
Nope, not till cake time.
Not till cake time.
Yep,
When
not
is
till
cake
cake.
time.
After dinner time.
Wait, no, you need breakfast.
Yes, after breakfast for dinner time. Is what I mean.
Oh, I'm gonna go get my shoes on.
They're coming.
I also listened to What's Up Baby Q, Cosmos Astropub. It was really good. I enjoyed the conversation. I thought that guy from Chicago was like really interesting.
He was interesting.
He had a lot of knowledge about architecture, which is an interest of mine. I love, like, as far as arts go, like building art, like having something functional but also look beautiful is something that is really, it really draws me. So
that building has so much history, and
Yeah.
it's just incredible when you actually find out what that history is. You're like, oh my gosh, whoa. Like, now I have more respect for this place.
so now I want to check that place out.
It's very cool.
But anyways, yeah. So Cosmos Astropub, that was a good one. And then last but not least, I've been listening to my tech podcasts.
Yes, you
One,
have.
what's that?
I said, yes, you have.
Yeah. So one podcast a couple podcasts I listen to pretty frequently. Kind of like, is there a podcast that you listen to that's kind of like you don't have to pay close attention to? You just kind of have it on as a background, and
Yeah.
you catch it here and there, and it's not, it doesn't require all of your attention, but it's kind of comforting in the background.
Yeah.
I have two of those. One is a podcast. It's called Lou Later. It's he's a YouTuber first, podcaster second, I think. But he's got a YouTube channel called Unbox Therapy, which is fun. He just unboxes tech and
That
reviews
sounds
it.
terrible.
To
me.
But he is hilarious,
I mean,
though.
I'm sure it's great for
He's
people who are into
hilarious, though. I love him, and he's got his friend. His name is Willie Doo.
Is that his real name?
Well, I think it's his nickname. I think his name is Will, but like he calls him Willie Doo. And they have a little dog and stuff. Like I don't know.
Wow.
I love their podcast.
That's
I love their YouTube channel. But he has a podcast called Lou Later, and he just talks about stuff. Like the most recent one is Apple issues new iPhone cleaning guidelines. So whatever you want to do with that. And then the other one is Waveform with MKBHD, and he just talks about, stuff. This most recent one is quarantine updates, 480p YouTube, and Apple purchases the Dark Sky app, which is the app that you have that you don't like.
I deleted it. We can talk about that later.
Sure. And then the last one is the Vergecast, which with Dieter Bohn.
Dieter Bohn. He's my favorite Dieter of all the Dieters.
Yeah.
Do
Anyways,
you have a favorite Dieter, Lorenzo?
yeah, of course, it's Dieter Bohn. He's my favorite
We
Dieter.
have the same favorite Dieter. Yeah. It's great.
All right, this might be our longest podcast. It might be our worst podcast. It might be
It
our
might be
best.
that we've been quarantined for a while. Don't judge us. It's been a long time, guys.
Yeah.
I'm literally beating a giant string, and selling them for money. So.
Yeah. And we'll have new email addresses. Maybe Lindsey at parentingversuspodcast.com.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm so excited that you bought that.
Yeah, it's like $12.
Well, I'm going to spend $12 on eBay today buying more beads, probably. So
Do it. You should get like really cool like vintage ones though.
that's what I want to do. They just cost money. They're not
Look at these
cheap.
shells. These are nice.
Yeah, beads are not cheap.
Yeah.
That's the thing about beads.
All
If
right,
you guys
folks.
have any extra beads you want to send me, you hit me up,
Yeah.
and I'll gladly take them and make you a bead strand.
Do it. All right, y'all.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to us and having grace for us in our weaknesses. And I hope you guys have a great day.
Thanks for putting up with our shit, everybody.
Talk to you in the next one.